Paranormal in Pennsylvania may discuss topics such as suicide, murder, and other potentially upsetting things. Listener discretion is advised. Hello, and welcome to Paranormal in Pennsylvania,
where we discuss history and hauntings.
Today's story takes us to a haunted bar in Pittsburgh. I'm Sarah.
And I'm Erica.
Let's get into it. This season, we're being sponsored by our friends at Haunted US. They travel the country bringing you real stories of American hauntings every Thursday at hauntedus.com. So, Harold's Haunt. I think we first heard about this on the podcast Twice the Terror, which
yes.
I don't think they're producing episodes anymore, sadly.
Yeah, I loved their podcast.
I did. They're funny.
So funny.
And we met them in person and they're funny. But
yes,
we heard about it there. And actually, many of my friends, our friends, have told me about it because it's a haunted they bar. They don't like to call it a gay bar because they want it to be more applicable to the LGBTQ plus community at large.
Yeah.
So they were just like, hey, this sounds like somewhere you might be interested in. So a lot of our friends have told me about it. Had you heard about it?
No.
Okay. Super cool.
Other than from the episode, I think once or twice mentioned. Yeah. With Twice as Swear. But no, and haunted they bar is amazing.
Yes.
I love that.
I love it too. I just think this haunting is so funny to me. I feel like we've had a lot of serious episodes. This is such a funny episode.
I am so excited.
Yes. So, the history. The building used to be Howard's Pub, which was apparently a large supporter of the LGBTQ plus community. And when it closed, the owners of Maude's Paperwing Gallery, which is a metaphysical store, decided to take over the space and make it into a spooky themed they bar because they wanted to fill the hole in Millvale for, something for the community.
Right.
Which I love.
Yes.
Apparently, the space that it's on, the actual grounds, used to be close to the Allegheny Poor House. And some people think where Harold's is now is where the farm portion was.
Oh.
So, if we remember, the Greene County Alms House and how it ran basically on its own, they would have the house where people would live, and then they would also have, the farms that people would work.
Right.
So this would be the farm area.
Okay.
But I couldn't find out if that was true. That's just kind of anecdotally what I found.
Right.
I couldn't find records, and I couldn't find much about the space before that.
Okay.
But we do know that Milvale is old because the St. Nicholas Church is here, and it dates back to the early 1900s. So it's definitely old.
Yes.
Today, Harold's Haunt has tons of super cool events, is an overall very inviting space. They had a pretty big menu. I was very surprised when we were there. They have alcoholic drinks, mocktails, and even food options. And a lot of them are themed spooky.
Yes.
Which is cool.
Yeah.
And they regularly have sober events if drinking is not your thing. They have sober Sundays every third Sunday of the month, I think it is, where they actually take down all the bottles and stuff. David's saying second Sunday. First Sunday. It's a Sunday. It's called Sober Sunday. But they take down all the bottles, and they don't serve any alcohol all day. So for people that might have, be triggered by alcohol in various ways, like recovered alcoholics, people that have had negative experiences, can come and experience a bar atmosphere without having to be triggered by it.
That's
which is
so
cool.
Nice.
Yeah, I didn't know that they actually cover up the bottles and stuff too. I thought they just didn't serve alcohol, but they really take it a step further. They really try to create inclusive spaces for pretty much everyone.
Yeah.
Which is cool. And we had a great experience there. We went for an event. It was a yard sale or something, right?
Was
Book
I
sale.
there?
Yes.
Why did it just take me 10, I don't know how long we've been recording, 5 minutes to realize that I had been there? It was a book sale.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I was I'm picturing us sitting at the table, and I was yes, there was 4 of us, and you were one of the people.
I was. It took me a really long time to realize that.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Yeah, because we went out back to the books, and then we sat at that table.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
It's a really nice place now that I'm remembering it. I just really loved it.
Apparently not memorable. It is so memorable though. Like the walls are painted purple.
It is. And Mothman was there. Wasn't there a flag of Mothman?
Yes, the Mothman flag. Yeah, I forgot.
I got it now.
Yeah. So it was really cool. And we just had a good time. It's like a very low stress kind of environment. Everyone was just very chill.
Yes.
So, the paranormal story. It's called Harold's Haunt for a reason. Because Harold is the main spirit here. And I'll give some backstory on him, what we do actually know. So the owners hired a medium to communicate with Harold's spirit in 2022, which I believe is right around when they took over. So when we were there, it was probably shortly after they had purchased it.
Yeah.
And they wanted to learn more about this spirit Harold. That was the namesake. They learned that Harold is a man who is 60 years old and caught in a time loop, but is generally not aware that the time has changed.
Oh.
Yeah. But don't feel bad for Harold.
Okay.
Because he maintains his viewpoints, which are sexist, racist, and homophobic. Which is...
I take back the, aw.
I know, I was like, you're not going to feel bad for him soon. I mean, a victim of his time or whatever some people can say.
Yeah.
But, you know, get with the times, Harold. Hysterical to me that they named the bar after him, and it's a they bar.
Yeah.
Owned by 2 women, one of which is a lesbian. And it goes further. Apparently he also hates Irish people, which is really random.
I don't know if there was a period of time in Pittsburgh when people hated Irish people.
Yeah. Especially because people tend to live in groups associated with their ethnicities.
Yeah.
So it would be like a bunch of Irish people. So, yeah. And one of the owners is Irish.
Oh, this is just perfect.
So she put up an Irish flag.
Yeah, that's great.
Great.
Yes.
Just like, could it be any more catered to the precise groups that Harold hates?
Freaking no. Harold.
But to be fair, like, he hates a lot of groups.
Yes, I mean, honestly, it sounds just like old white men.
Yeah.
That's really his crowd.
Is. Yeah. Right. Which, I mean, in Millvale,
right.
could be a lot of bars.
Right.
But not this one. So, when we were here, we asked about the resident spirit. And I don't know if you were sitting next to me or not. This is when we were, like, at the bar ordering drinks.
I think I was.
And the bartender rolled their eyes at us and said he was so annoying.
Yeah.
Which is hysterical.
No,
like, I love this haunting.
It's ridiculous because if he's there, right, I don't know, it might be a negative kind of vibe with him having all of these things like racism and sexism and homophobic tendencies and stuff. So the fact that this spirit has been reduced to annoying is great.
Yeah, we're like, tell us about Harold, and she's like, annoying. But she said that he does cause a lot of genuine issues for the place, which must suck.
Hi, listeners. We're so excited to tell you about our partnership with Haunted US. Haunted US is an online publication that brings you credible articles on the history and specific paranormal claims of haunted locations across the country. We've even used them to research some of our episodes. Visit hauntedus.com for new haunted places every Thursday.
Apparently, he knocks stuff over in the basement, causes soda guns to shoot, and more.
Is it when they're holding the soda gun?
No. From what she said, it was when it was, like, setting in its holder.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, I was going to say, that would be so sad if you were talking to somebody and it just, like, shot out right at your customer. That would be not great.
But, like, how annoying. Like, knocking over stuff in the basement, like, that could really damage stuff.
Yes.
Now you have to clean up all the soda. It's sticky.
Right, because that's going to get in, like, the lemons and the limes and stuff that are beneath the bar. And
it's so funny to me. Like, he's just so petty.
Yeah.
Like, he's just like, meh, and knocks over a box. It's so funny to me. And there's nothing he can do because it does sound like he's trapped there.
Right.
In that time loop.
Right.
Another common issue that they reported is with electronics. So the owner said that multiple electronic devices have died because of Harold. And everything from issues with ringing things into the system correctly to credit card scanners, things just tend to go down fairly often. And to me, this just sounds like Harold throwing a fit.
Yeah.
Like, he's like, no, off.
Right. If I can't have a beer, you can't have your rum and Coke.
Maybe, not that we need to give Harold anything, because he sounds like a not nice person. But I do wonder if they, like, pour one out for Harold and, like, set it.
Yeah.
I wonder what that would do.
Right. Like, maybe he would be a little satiated for the day.
Right. And, like, I'm not saying he's a good person, but it would suck to be in a time loop surrounded by things you hate.
Yes.
Even if your views are wrong. So wrong.
Yeah. Just so bad.
Yeah. I mean, hysterical for us as the living to interact with it.
Yeah.
So Harold is the namesake, the big haunt. And I think I remember them saying he's primarily trapped in the basement.
Yes, I remember that part.
Yeah. But he's not the only spirit. There seems to be another spirit that's there. And people think, or the current owners rather, think that it's the previous owner way back. Not necessarily when it was Howard's Pub, but way back. I know. We love the original owners being there. And they are there to look out for the bar.
The reason I was giving you that look is because I can just imagine in a dimension that's not ours, Harold and the owner just going at it.
Yes.
Trying to fight.
Yes. That's what I literally have written later on. That dichotomy is hysterical to me because I imagine the previous owner and Harold, like, Harold's like, nah, this soda gun. And the owner's like, stop, you're wasting money. Like, you're making the floor dirty. It's so funny.
Yes.
Yes.
That's so funny.
And the owners actually have stories of the spirit that, again, they believe is the previous owner, really helping them out. So specifically, one occurrence that they cite is water was leaking and dripping onto an outlet. They did not say if Harold caused it or not, but it was dripping near an outlet and then onto the bar. So this could have caused two issues. One, it could have caused an electrical fire because of the outlet, and it also could have caused issues with, like, the bar because it was pooling.
Right.
And there was a light that turned itself on and perfectly illuminated the dripping water.
Oh my gosh.
And you know that's not Harold.
Definitely not Harold. Harold's, again, we cannot confirm nor deny whether Harold did it, but I'm just saying, Harold's probably like, electrical fire, here we come.
Yeah, he's like, burn it down. Yeah.
That is really cool. I know that we normally talk about electrical issues, especially in old buildings, not being, like, possibly not being paranormal and being more owed to the oldness of the building.
Right.
But this specific one, to me, seems paranormal.
Yeah. Especially because it was, like, the right time, the right place.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah, I really think so. And I think if not a previous owner, then it has to be someone that's looking out for the bar.
Yeah.
You know, I think previous owner makes sense, but someone's clearly looking out for the bar. And the dichotomy is very funny. I feel like normally the spirits aren't at odds with each other like this.
No.
They could be from, like, for other places we've seen, it could be different time periods, or maybe they don't interact, but, or even, I guess, it could be on battlefields. Like, there might be people on opposing sides, but I feel like we don't really hear of them interacting or doing activities that directly oppose each other like this.
No, definitely not. Because, so a battlefield is a very fragile place, you know? So if you're probably trying to avoid the enemy as much as possible.
That's true.
In this case, they're in, like, a little box, basically. And that is just such a funny image to me.
Yeah. I really picture, I don't know why, I always picture Harold walking in a circle in the basement. I don't know why. Just, like, stewing. Yes. And just, like, mumbling to himself angry things.
Yeah.
And I picture, like, the owner sitting there, like, old style with, like, suspenders and a cigar, like, counting money at the bar.
Yeah.
And they just, like, he's just like, Harold, stop. Like, and Harold's like, blah, 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 blah.
Yes.
Like, that's how I picture this going.
Yes. Harold is, like, a very stereotypical grumpy old man.
Yes.
For sure.
Yes.
And it's like as soon as Harold comes out from the basement, the owner that's at the bar is like, here we go.
Yeah, like, what are you gonna do now?
What is he going to do now?
Gonna clean up your mess. So I love it. I only knew about Harold when we went. I didn't know about the other spirit.
Yeah.
So I definitely want to go back. Well, first of all, it's a cool place.
Yes.
But I definitely want to go back, especially because they're so open to the hauntings there. And I know that they've had a few mediums come through, the one that initially, you know, gave them information about Harold and a few other people. But it makes me wonder if they would be open to a formal investigation.
Yeah, because I wonder if like maybe one night when the bar closes, if we could be there with equipment, if they would be fine with that. That would be really cool.
And I know they're trying to raise money for renovations right now, so it would be like, I wonder if we like pay them to use the space, if they would be amicable to it.
I would love to speak with the previous owner.
Mm-hmm. I think so too. I just think it would be, it's like a sitcom.
Yes.
You can't write it better than these two. And it's like, I don't like saying trapped in the afterlife because, you know, theories on that vary. Although I will say the medium used the words trapped in a time loop for Harold. But it's like these people in the afterlife, for whatever reason, just hating each other day in and day out, and Harold hating where he is.
Yeah.
It's so funny to me. And it's not even like he just hates the owners. It's like the type of people that attend events there and go to the establishment. Like, he just hates them all.
Yes. I love the fact that they have done this with the bar, because it's just, not only is it a fantastic place to do it, like I think what you had said in the beginning is right, like it's a nice place to go in Millvale, because not a lot of stuff is out there. And so that in itself is cool. But to be able to stick it to a 60-year-old man who hates everybody that isn't white or a man or straight. A1.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, I applaud them. And I would love to go. We should reach out to them.
Yes.
So if you're in the Pittsburgh area, definitely check out Harold's Haunt. They have such cool stuff going on all the time. And if you're listening from Harold's Haunt, hit us up. And if you know of any haunted places that you want us to go investigate or do an episode about, feel free to reach out on any of our social media or shoot us an email. We're always paying attention to listener referrals. This was a friend real life referral, but we love going to new haunted places, and we find hidden gems like this where, it's like, I'm calling it a wholesome story because I like that the bar owners in my head antagonizing Harold.
Yes.
So wholesome stories. So thank you for listening to this week's episode of Paranormal in Pennsylvania. Tune in next Thursday to see what history and haunts we discuss next. Stay spooky, my friends.